Welcome to the first video on the car hire series. The aim of these videos is basically to take you through the car hire mini project, starting with this video today, which is design, and then leading on to how that design links to the actual code itself. The coding videos are all done individually, so there's one video for each of the separate classes. So today we're just going to start off with talking about the general design. Now obviously there's many different solutions we can have for the car hire mini project. I'm just going to show you one suggested solution. So I've decided to split the project into 4 separate windows. So this is my initial design you can see on the screen here. So we've got the main window, which gathers the car type, so their car choice and the cost of the car. And then we've got the second window, which gathers the age of the driver and the number of hire days, the third window which gathers the pickup location, and then we've got our final results window where all of this information is stored. Now you can see from the design that there is a lot of data that we need to share between these windows. The results window needs to know about the car choice, the car type, which comes from the main window. It needs to know about the hire days, which comes from the second window, location, which comes from the third window, and the age, which comes from the second window, and the total cost, which is based on the cost coming from the first window. So we have to be able to share this data across these windows. Therefore, we're going to be using the data class. This is another example of implementing a data class like we did for the city details exercise. So you can also take a look at that one and review it as well if you want to have another example of using a data class. A data class is just a separate store, just like each of these are classes. This is again just a straightforward class, and it's just used as effectively a central store. So it means that all of these windows can access this central store and they can share their data using the store. So let's take a look at how that is achieved in terms of the design. So first of all, if we start with the main window is where we're going to ask the user to select a car, and obviously the associated cost will come with the car. So this window will be responsible for getting the user's car choice, and it will then store that car choice into the central store, into the data class. So the car type will be stored in here. As well as the car type, the associated cost of that car will also be stored into the central storage location. The next window, we're going to ask the user to enter their age and the number of days they want to hire the car. Both of these pieces of data will then be placed and saved inside the data class, inside the central store. And then on window 3, we're going to collect the location, and again, it's going to be stored inside this hire details central store. That's us now collected all the data we need over these 3 windows, and we've stored them centrally. The next step is to look at the results window. Now the results window is responsible for getting the data out of the store and displaying it back to the user. So as you can see, we can get the car type from the store, the hire days is there as well, the location out of the store, the age, and then the total cost will use the cost in the store and calculate the total cost by multiplying that by the number of hire days. There's also the additional step where it needs to know the age, because if the age is less than 25, it'll add on a premium to that as well. So having this central store basically allows us to share the data, and that's really, really important. So bear in mind, this is what the design looks like. The next series of videos will actually go through each window at a time, showing you how to implement the code for each of them and how it achieves this behaviour of putting data both into the store and then taking data back out of the store again. I'd like to point you to the area in Moodle where you can find all of this documentation. So underneath the car hire project that you've been working on, there is now a car hire example solution folder. In this folder you'll find an entire project, Visual Studio project, with all of the code that is featured in all of the coming videos. If you want to use this code, obviously you need to download it and you need to uncompress it. So as I've said here, there's instructions. Once you download the file, you need to right click on it and select extract all to uncompress it. Then you'll be able to open up the solution and see all the codes. This folder here has got all the documentation in it, and should be incredibly valuable resource for you for your final project, because this contains every single document that you will be required to submit as part of your final project. So it's a great opportunity to have some code and see how that code is used to populate these documents. So based on what we've just talked about, we've talked about the design. So if you look on here, you will see that all of the design documents for each of those windows are there. So you can have a look at them, and there's also the navigation chart as well. So all of that information's there, and then as you go through the other videos in the code, all of the supporting documents are there for those as well. Once you've looked at the project and you understand how it all works, then this is a list of all the testing documents too. So again, I'd like you to take your time to look at these and understand how the testing's carried out. Obviously, there are 2 PowerPoint presentations that we delivered in class, which can be found up here. One on how to create the application, so how to actually build the user interface and write the code. Everybody should be quite confident with that now. And then this one, which is all about how to complete the project documentation. So read this or watch this video, watch this PowerPoint presentation, and then you've got actual live examples of everything here. Okay, I'm going to end this video now, and the next video in this series will start to go through each of the windows, starting with the main window code.